Good evening. I got to look at the agenda. I'd like to call the May 9th Planning Board meeting to order. The first thing on the agenda tonight is minutes from May 2nd. Mr. Secretary.
Mr. Chairman, I received no comments in the minutes of May 2nd, therefore I recommend approval.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? Very good. Next, approval not required. Plans received between May 3rd and May 9th. And Pat, you
I
are
have
going
to
to
recuse myself because my husband owns those lots.
Okay. Have all the members had a chance to look at this plan?
Glance.
Have you?
No.
No? Take a minute. We have time.
So we're
Connor?
going with combining those two.
That's it. I looked at it, it's nothing much.
Yeah,
This guy here,
yeah.
Ilka Fruit.
Again, keep in mind, anything we decided is just moving lines. It has nothing to do with
Yeah.
zoning or buildability. We're just endorsing a plan by an engineer that's put in front of us.
It's an A&R, right?
Yes.
96,000 square feet.
Yes, John?
I didn't have a chance to see these plans before, but are either one of these roads or are both of them paved?
Well, I know what Schumett is. Yes, they are. I've turned that corner. They're both paved.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. I have turned the road. I didn't know it was a Schumett, but I've gone to the end of a Schumett and taken a right, so it has to be that road.
I drove down there
Yeah.
just because I could.
Motion to endorse, anybody?
I'll move to endorse the A&R for the applicant, Tommy Steele, to combine 4 lots into 2 lots located at 0 Ashumet Road and 0 Hoop Hole Road.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed, none? Pat, you can come back. The next thing on the agenda is planning board decision and discussion. FWG LLC special permit and definitive plan application to create 28 lots planned residential subdivision located at 125 Falmouth Woods Road. Holmes and McGrath, the engineer.
Mr. Chairman, before
Yes.
we begin, I'd like to make a disclosure. I'm a member of the Falmouth Affordable Housing Committee and was in attendance when the proponent's agent presented to the Affordable Housing Committee prior to the Planning Board, where it was sort of a Cliff Notes version of the plan. There was not a huge amount of discussion, and at the Planning Board meeting that evening, it was the full 700 pages of novel. But I was present, there was nothing that was discussed at the first meeting that was not fully covered at the second meeting. So I just wanted to disclose that information.
Okay. So, first is the discussion. This was a preliminary hearing. We've been through it, and now we've had a discussion. And does anyone before, do you want to read the motion and then, yes, probably should have the motion first. Yeah.
So, March 8th, 2017 draft regarding Falmouth Woods Golf LLC definitive plan and planned residential development special permit 1101029001B. Motion that the planning board vote to approve the application of FWG LLC for a special permit under Article 25, planned residential development of the zoning bylaw and under Article 4, definitive plans, Chapter 305 subdivision regulations of the town of Falmouth for a plan entitled Definitive Subdivision Plan Prepared for the Cape Club, Hatchville, Falmouth, Mass. Drawn by Holmes and McGrath, Inc., dated March 13, 2017, scale 1 inch, equals 150 feet, 3 sheets, together with road construction plans, Cape Club Estates prepared for the Cape Club 125 Falmouth Woods Road, Hatchville, Falmouth, Mass., drawn by Holmes and McGrath, Inc., dated March 20th, 2017, revised May 1st, 2017, 9 sheets, with the following findings, waivers, and conditions. Findings. The applicant has applied to the board for the approval of a planned residential development located at 125 Falmouth Woods Road a locus totaling some 129.86 acres. Sheet 3 of the above referenced definitive plan shows the division of the locus into 3 lots, A, B, and C, totaling 19.87, 81.30, and 28.69 respectively. It is Lot B totaling 81.30 acres that is the subject of this decision. Upon receipt, the application was first referred to the Cape Cod Commission as a development of regional impact on July 20th, 2016. Following its review, the Cape Cod Commission approved this application with conditions in a decision dated March 2nd, 2017. This decision is incorporated here by reference and made part of this decision for the purposes of the findings that the board will make regarding the provision of open space, the treatment of wastewater, the offset of increased traffic, and the effect on the supply of affordable housing. For the special permit to issue, the board must find that the specific requirements of Article 25 have been met. Accordingly, pursuant to Section 122, purpose of the board finds that subparagraphs B, C, D, F, and G have been satisfied. This in turn satisfies the requirement of Section 123, requiring a positive finding for at least 4 of the 7 purposes enumerated. Section 124 has been satisfied, and Lot B is in excess of the 10-acre minimum for an AGAA zoning district, excluding the areas referenced in subparagraphs A, B, and C. Consistent with Section 125, the applicant proposes single-family dwellings together with a recreational use allowed under GLC 61B, golf, and these uses are noted on the definitive plan. The board notes the use of the open space adjacent to lots 12, 13, 16, 17, and 18 for a cart path that crosses Gulfview Drive. The board finds this acceptable pursuant to condition number 1 below. The applicant has provided the board with an exhibit plan showing a standard grid subdivision of 32 lots that is in conformance with the board's rules and regulations on Lot B. The board finds this satisfies the requirement of Section 126A regarding density limitations. The board notes that this application is for 28 lots, not the 32 shown on the grid plan, satisfying Section 126B. The minimum lot dimensions and setback requirements of Section 127A through D have been met as depicted on the definitive plan. Each lot is at least 10,000 square feet in area, the minimum lot width of 75 feet, and frontage requirement of 50 feet. Setbacks for lot lines and roadway are 25 feet as required. Lots are clustered in groups of 3 to 5 and are contiguous. Pursuant to Section 129, the open space requirements for the proposed 28-lot PRD is 25.71 acres. 1/3, 8.57 acres of the open space requirement is shown on the definitive plan as open space 1. This is permissible pursuant to Section 131B, and the board finds this acceptable. When the applicant appeared before the planning board with a preliminary subdivision plan, the board indicated its support of an off, there's a typo there, I think, indicated it's either has to be its support or it's indicated it, oh, no, excuse me. Indicated it supported an off-site open space concept which would provide for a higher quality of open space. Section 129 allows the planning board to accept in its discretion open space parcels that are not contiguous to the proposed PRD if the intent and purpose of the bylaw is fulfilled. Here the applicant has partnered with the 300 Committee Land Trust, Inc., a Massachusetts charitable corporation, the 300 Committee, to fund the acquisition of 17.2 acres of off-site open space. This is indicated on sheet 1 of the definitive plan. The 17.2 acres is part of a larger 70 plus or minus acre parcel adjacent to Shallow Pond, formerly owned by D'Addario Enterprises, Inc. The applicant has provided an exhibit plan thereof. The open space values of the D'Addario parcel, so-called, are well known to the board, and we find the funding of its acquisition acceptable for the purposes of Section 129. The board has received correspondence from the 300 Committee dated April 3rd, 2017, attesting to the applicant's financial contribution. The board finds the representation made in the April 3rd correspondence acceptable in this instance for the purposes of this application. The board notes that the sequence of events leading to the acquisition of the off-site open space are not in alignment with Article 25. This was dictated in large part by this application also being subject to the provisions of the Cape Cod Commission Act, a fact that distinguishes it from all prior PRD applications received by this board. Regardless of the sequence of events, the end result required by Article 25, Section 130 is the same. The non-contiguous Daddario parcel is owned by the 300 Committee and is subject to conservation restriction enforceable by the town of Falmouth. Accordingly, subject to the conditions number 2 below, the board finds the on-site open space 1 and the non-contiguous Daddario parcel fulfill the project's open space requirements pursuant to Article 25 of the zoning bylaw. In addition, under Article 42, special permits of the zoning bylaw, the planning board finds the site is adequate in terms of size and suitable for the proposed use, as the site comports with Article 25 of the zoning bylaw. Due to the size and location of the property and the terrain, there will not be a negative impact on views and vistas. The impact on traffic flow and safety will be minimal, as the project has been conditioned by a decision of the Cape Cod Commission, referenced herein for improvement to Route 151. In lieu of septic systems that meet current Title V health regulations, the applicant proposes advanced wastewater treatment as required by the Department of Environmental Protection as part of its groundwater discharge permit, and the Cape Cod Commission in its DRI decision. Utilities will be provided and maintained and are adequate as per the referral received from the Falmouth Department of Public Works Engineering Division dated May 1st, 2015, and a referral dated April 26, 2017 from Stephen Rafferty, Water Superintendent, subject to condition number 3 below. The development will not negatively impact the adequacy of the supply of affordable housing in the town, as a contribution of funds has been required by the Cape Cod Commission in its decision for use by the town. Waivers of the board's rules and regulations governing the subdivision of land. 305-24B and 305-24C, width of layout from 44 to 34 is depicted on sheet 5 of the above referenced roadway construction plan. This waiver is consistent with the board's preliminary decision in keeping the proposed residences further away from the first fairway of the golf course. 305-30, street trees subject to condition number 4 below. 305-24B, 1C, minimum centerline curve radii. The proposed 146-foot minimum radii is less than the minimum radius indicated in the regulations of 150 feet by 3%, but it is within the range of radii of the town of Falmouth as accepted in prior roadways. Conditions. 1. Prior to the endorsement of the definitive plan, a covenant creating a homeowners association shall be submitted to the planning board for approval. Also, a suitable covenant restricting the on-site open space to recreation or open space purposes only shall be delivered to and approved by the board prior to the definitive plan endorsement. Said covenants to be recorded with the definitive plan. Prior to definitive plan endorsement, a suitable bond or covenant shall be submitted ensuring completion of the roadways and utilities. 2. The proposed golf cart crossing at Golfview Drive shall be in accordance with the details depicted on sheet 3 of the road construction plan referenced above. 3. The proposed water system shall be approved by and installed under the direction of the water superintendent pursuant to his referral date of May 1st, 2017. Absent final approval by the waste superintendent of the proposed water system, the applicant shall apply to the planning board to modify this decision as necessary to ensure adequate water supply. 4. Street trees shall be installed as per the plan submitted by the applicant entitled Residential Landscape Site Plan, the Cape Cod, drawn by K.D. Turner Design, dated March 16, 2016, scale 1 inch equals 40 feet. I believe that's the motion.
No, turn the page.
What's that?
Turn the page.
Backside.
Page 4?
Okay.
One more paragraph.
One more paragraph.
Not getting off easy.
Condition 5, no further development except for improvements to the existing golf course use, which are governed by a zoning board of appeals special permit, or subdivision into additional lots shall occur on Lot B without a modification of this decision. Okay?
Wow.
Yeah, it's a mouthful.
Second.
Well, we've had a year to go through this. Anyone have anything they need to say further?
I don't, other than I think it's been well presented. I think the outreach to the people that about this property was well done. I like it when you get support from the people that are around such a development, and I think it's worthy of our approval.
I think it's notable how much local support they had. They were advocates, the neighbors.
That's what we like.
Yeah. Yes?
I concur, and I recommend approval of the amended motion.
Anybody else? All in favor? Oh, John, sorry.
I'd just like to note that, excuse me, it appears to me that the developer obviously worked with all the town committees and the different, like the town engineer and water department, and that we have it appears to be a well-thought-out development here. But also, I'd like to mention that it appears to me that the developer has, through traffic mitigation fees, open space contribution, and affordable housing contribution, is approaching $1 million in contribution to the town of Falmouth. So I just wanted to mention that.
That's a good note.
All right, we'd like to encourage more of that.
Unless your mom has to pay it.
You want a second motion?
It's already been seconded.
It's already been
So
seconded.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous.
Yes.
Good job.
Okay, the next one is site plan review, same applicant. Application to construct 80 units of commercial accommodations in 10 standalone structures. Replace existing pool and fitness center and expand parking located at 125 Falmouth Woods Road, Holmes and McGrath Engineers.
Okay, I'll read it since I have the corrected copy.
Yep, go ahead.
And this one's shorter, so.
Good.
Okay, 5/18/17 draft, motion that the planning board vote to approve the application of FWG LLC under Article 39, site plan review of the zoning bylaw for a plan entitled Site Plan Prepared for the Cape Club, 125 Falmouth Woods Road, Hatchville, Falmouth, Mass., prepared by Holmes and McGrath, Inc., dated April 6, 2017, revised April 18, 2017, scale 1 inch equals 60 feet, 9 sheets, together with architectural plans, 9 sheets, prepared by the MZO Group, dated March 3, 2016, scale 3/8 of an inch equals 1 foot, and design landscape plan entitled Commercial Landscape Site Plan, prepared by KD Turner Design, dated January 12, 2017, scale 1 inch equals 40 feet. Findings. The applicant proposes to redevelop the existing parking area for the restaurant and country club at 125 Falmouth Woods Road into 80 units of commercial accommodations in 10 buildings, a fitness gym and pool, together with expanded parking, drainage, and landscaping. The site is proposed to be divided into a 19.87 acre parcel to be known as Lot A. The site is zoned agricultural AA and lies within the Wild Harbor River Coastal Pond Overlay District. The board has reviewed the plans referenced above, together with referrals from town departments, including the engineering division, water and utilities, and fire and rescue departments. The planning board finds the architectural elevations and landscaping appropriate for this area's setting. Regards the overall site plan, the applicant's attention is directed to the water department's referral dated May 1st, 2017. The applicant will need to prepare a plan that conforms to water department standards and submit separately to the water department for review and approval. Otherwise, except as conditioned below, the board finds the overall site planning acceptable. The site is located in the Wild Harbor River Coastal Overlay District. However, this application has been reviewed by the Cape Cod Commission as a development of regional impact and is subject to the provisions of the Massachusetts Department of Environmental Protection groundwater discharge permit. These decisions require advanced wastewater treatment for nitrogen removal. The applicant also proposes improvements to the adjacent Route 151 as part of the Cape Cod Commission decision. Therefore, the board accepts these improvements for the purposes of traffic mitigation under the local zoning bylaw. Conditions. 1. The plans referenced above shall be constructed as approved. Any changes shall be reviewed by the planning board to determine if modification of this decision is necessary. Pursuant to Section 240-183B of the zoning bylaw, no permit for full or partial occupancy shall be issued until the planning board is satisfied that the conditions of this approval and predecessor approvals have been met. 2. A special permit from the Zoning Board of Appeals is required for the reduction in parking as well as for the units of commercial accommodations. 3. Additional drainage shall be installed as per letter dated April 24, 2017 from Holmes and McGrath, Inc. to the Falmouth Planning Board, letter enclosed. 4, the proposed walking path along the existing driving range shall include informational signs indicating path open to public and stay on path, the locations of which shall be reviewed by the town planner prior to occupancy. 5, the proposed water system shall be approved by and installed under the direction of the water superintendent pursuant to his referral date of May 1st, 2017. Absent final approval by the water superintendent of the proposed water system, the applicant shall apply to the planning board to modify this decision as necessary to ensure adequate water supply.
Second.
John, you got anything on this?
Yeah, I'd just like to mention that the people that are most affected by this are the Ballymede Homeowners Association, or the homeowners, and their association was here and spoke at the open meeting that they're very much in support of this, and it's nice to see that.
And I think they're even higher up than this location. I think the people that have trouble there are the ones on the tops of the hills. They're still going to have
Problems.
Anybody else?
Good with it.
I've heard a lot of this. I'm all set. You guys all set?
Yeah.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? None? Moving right along. Now, that's a lot of paperwork here. I might need help lifting this off.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Good job.
This is it. There's nothing else. That's it. You weren't kidding, Paul.
Killed a lot of trees for this, Brian.
That's it. The plans, what else we got?
Can I make a motion?
No.
Going to a record.
Trees
No.
were killed.
I was famous at CPC for that.
You are still.
Don't see any general correspondence? Okay. Future agenda items, I think we addressed a lot of them last week. Anyone have anything new?
Do we know what's coming next for our next meeting as a future agenda item?
What's on deck?
For sure, reorganization,
Yes.
Right. Give it-
and then more of a work plan for the next few months. There are some other applications, nothing regulatory. Every May, I tend to set out a work plan because the warrant closes usually first week of September. It'll be here before you know it, because usually August is a vacation month. So I'd like to put a schedule endorsement forward and bring you up to speed on some other outstanding issues.
Okay.
I've had one meeting with Michael Kasparian of the Chamber, and we talked about after the election, that we were going to start putting together a stakeholders meeting for a group to listen to about the Davis Straits visioning, particularly focusing on the property owners as well as other groups in town. We've been getting lobbied by the CPC and the Affordable Housing Committee and other people that want to be involved in that, so they'll be informed about it, but we're going to be reaching out first to the actual landowners, because if we don't get the buy-in from them, it isn't going to happen.
Do we have a list of all those folks? The butters list to the...
Well, I haven't generated it yet, but as soon as I'm re-elected, I will.
It's cute.
No, we put off until after the election. I'm not presuming anything. Next meeting.
May 23rd.
Wow.
2 weeks.
That is the end of our agenda.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Is this a record?
It is. Is my-